What's going on, Buffs Nation? Hope you're all having a wonderful Friday. Thank you to all who checked out my interview with NFL draft scout Bill Carroll last night. We had a ton of fun, and he's going to be back on the show here this summer, so be on the lookout for that. Please go check it out. I'll link it in the description if you haven't seen it, but really in-depth, solid football content coming from Bill Carroll. Really appreciate him coming on, but I wanted to go ahead. I know this is a little tardy, but celebrate the fact that we have Sy'veon Wilkerson come to see you. Now, this is something that a lot of people had speculated for months, and I was hoping that he would come here, but with him kind of going radio silent for a couple months, didn't really know what to expect. And it's fantastic news to see him on campus here on this roster. It's very important that Shedeur has people that he can trust, especially at the running back position, already having that relationship with Wilkerson. Last year averaged over 5 yards a carry over at Jackson State. I believe he got all conference honors as well, which is fantastic. And he's a guy that can do a little bit of everything. He can bounce things a little outside, doesn't have, Dylan Edwards type speed, but has good enough speed, can get you those hard yards, in between the tackles, those short yardage plays. And 21 receptions last year. That's really solid for a college running back, especially. So, he's going to slot in there right behind Alton McCaskill, being probably competing for the number 2 snaps with Cavassier Smoke. That's what I would imagine. And then Dylan Edwards can slot in after that, and the other running backs like Hankerson and Offerdahl. So I want to know your thoughts on that. I feel like this is a really big deal. It can't be understated with Shedeur having guys that he can trust, that he already has a relationship with. This is going to make this transition for him coming from Jackson State up into the Pac-12, even that much more easy when he has guys like that he can trust. Now, this really shores up maybe a couple or one of the last remaining question marks on the team, in terms of positional depth. Really, the offense, the only question marks that I have going into fall camp right now is how quickly can this offensive line gel together? That's going to be the key for the whole offense, because now you have the wide receiver, running back positions, stacked with depth. You have Shedeur, who's going to be a top quarterback in the conference, I would assume, running everything. Really, the last big question mark is tight end. Eric Olson leaving the program, so we have Caleb Fourier as well as Louis Passarello here at tight end, and I haven't seen any more tight end news regarding anybody coming out of these camps or tryouts yet. I'm hoping that we do see some offers accepted here soon. And, let's talk a little bit about Connor Gilbreth, my favorite JUCO tight end that the staff has offered, that wants to eventually transition to that offensive tackle position, sort of like Matt Lepsis did years ago. And it seems like he's getting a lot of buzz from LSU. They offered him a while ago, just right after CU did. I think he's going on an official visit here this weekend or coming up soon, and so that's going to be a big deal. I would imagine that LSU is the favorite right now, but hopefully we can see Connor Gilbreth flip to coming to CU. He would be a fantastic addition, and with the tight end position mainly blocking in the Sean Lewis system, I think it would be really easy for him to make that transition to offensive tackle once he continues to put on a little bit of that weight. He's about 270 pounds, so he doesn't need to put on too much more, but he can get there pretty quick. So I want to know your thoughts on the importance of Sy'veon Wilkerson. This can't be understated. I think it's a really big deal with him coming to CU, and it eliminates any sort of question marks in terms of depth at the running back position, which is great. And now, hopefully we can find a tight end. Or do you think that we're going to be putting one of our backup, offensive linemen in there in that tight end spot in some of these sets? I think Louis Passarello and Caleb Fourier are talented options at the decent options at the tight end position. But again, when you're only too deep, you're just one injury away from really having some issues. So please let me know your thoughts in the comments. Again, thank you so much for sticking with me at David Talks Buffs. Please continue to like, comment, and subscribe. We're building something special here. And go ahead and check out some of my other favorite YouTube content creators like Vibe Season Sports. We got Prime Sports Media, Life in Football, Big Dog Chico. One recently that I haven't shouted out before, Bird's Eye View. I like him as well. So thank you so much for the support. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And as always, go Buffs.